Hey, Josh Skarzinski back here, rooted in Erie at Stan's Garden Center. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following us. Last episode, we talked about some establishing turf grass, how to put down old turf grass seed to thicken it up, how to add a new turf grass area to your landscape. And so today I want to talk about some of the control products and how to bolster that, how to get rid of the dreaded weeds, how to thicken that lawn up. And some of that is fertilizer and some of that is herbicide. So there's a whole family of herbicides that are pre-emergent herbicides and post-emergent herbicide. Pre, obviously early, meaning that it stops the seed ever from germinating. Post-emergent herbicide, when you see the lawn care services spraying the lawn with a little bit of liquid and it looks like they're really kind of in a hurry and only putting a little bit down, that's post-emergent, meaning that it gets onto the leaf and kills the established weed from the green down. Pre-emergent herbicide is what I want to talk to you about right now because I talk to a lot of customers that come back to me midsummer and say, oh my goodness, I had such a beautiful lawn in the spring and now it's kind of inundated with some of this crabgrass. In the last episode, I gave a little bit of vocabulary talking about the monocot plant and the dicot plant. Those are two definitive ways that seed plants start. Cotyledon is the first little baby seeds, like children have baby teeth. The plant has a cotyledon, which is a baby leaf. They have a little bit of genetic difference between the later leaves, the early leaf. A lot of times when you see a seedling come up, they see, like, for instance, you'll see a marigold that comes up. That marigold, the cotyledon, doesn't look like the fringed marigold leaf that it normally does when it's more mature. You'll see the leaf looks a little bit different. So those are just like baby teeth in children, and those leaves ultimately fall off. So when you first get a seedling start, you think, oh no, the leaves are dying. That's because they got their first true leaves, just like the teeth in children. So when that monocot comes up, it has defined itself as a leaf that is one. One cotyledon comes out of your grass seed, that makes it a monocot. If two baby leaves come out of that seed, like peas and beans, you notice two come out, that's a dicot. Why am I giving you the lesson on the different types? Because pre-emergent herbicide chooses to stop seeds from germinating. It's extremely hard to kill late stage crabgrass, so the ones that really have got established, you know, really unsightly, they're really not the kind of grass you want. But think about it. Crabgrass has that blady look just like the grass, so it's really hard to effectively kill a monocot amongst its friends of monocots. So the dicot plants like the plantain and the clover and the dandelions, those plants are very easy to select by an herbicide so that when the lawn service comes in or you spray the lawn, you get that material, that salts on that leaf, that kills only dicots, leaving the monocots alone. So I give you the example about monocots and dicots because the easiest way, the most effective way to stop weeds in your lawn is to prevent them from ever germinating. So an annual weed, one that is sown last summer, the seed sits there and, more vocabulary word, stratifies. Okay, stratifies means that it has a certain environment. In Erie, where we are, that's cold. We have winter. We definitely have winter. It seems like it goes 9 months long here. That seed stratifies by sitting cold, like a refrigerator. Then when it warms up in the spring, it knows, aha, time to attack, and it germinates and it grows. So the easiest way to stop things like crabgrass, dahlia-grass, nutsedge, things like that have reseeded themselves into your lawn is to prevent them from ever germinating. So you see us in the garden center industry kind of beating the drum to make sure you get out here nice and early, ideally before the forsythia are done blooming. That first yellow flower plant that comes out in the landscape, you see, you finally have flower color before the tulips are done blooming. If you get this step one or a pre-emergent herbicide comparable to step one down in your lawn area before the forsythia is done blooming, that prevents that seed from ever germinating. You never have to deal with crabgrass going forward. That seed will not continue to exist. So that's this step one. This step one here is a crabgrass preventer. That's what it has, a pre-emergent. Step one in the Scott's line has fertilizer in it as well. but the pre-emergent is the most important part. There are products on the market. We have one right back here, this Weed-X, that are crabgrass preventers without the fertilizer. Say you found out, you watched this video, and you said, oh no, I already established some fertilizer in my area. You don't want to fertilize more than, say, 4 to 6 weeks together. That's too much salts. So you can go ahead and get the product here that's just a crabgrass preventer, pre-emergent only, but step one's very effective. In my own personal lawn, I had a year where crabgrass took over. It must have blew in from the wind somewhere. So I put a light rate. Instead of doing like the 3 that it recommends, I did like 1.5, and I went one way. And then 4 weeks later, I put it back to a 1.5 and went the other way to make sure I got absolutely every square foot. I had no crabgrass that year. It stopped in its tracks. Once you break that vicious cycle of aggressive crabgrass coming in, you don't have it, then it's not reseeding itself for next year. So again, it's a monocot, it's hard to kill, so you can stop it by pre-emergent. Okay, there are some products on the market right here, this Extreme. This has been brought back to the market by Bayer, Bio Advanced here. This material here is probably one of the more aggressive post-emergent, meaning you have a leaf already, you have crabgrass, killers on the market. It was on the market a little while, it was gone, it disappeared, now it's back a little bit now. I don't have very much personal experience. I'm very much an advocate of stop it in its tracks with this product specifically. Historically, it's been very, very hard for control companies like Bayer, like Roundup and things to kill post-emergent crabgrass. So I don't have a lot of personal experience with this one here, but I know that it has been touted to be one of the most aggressive post-emergent killers. But I kind of promote pre-emergence over the post-emergence because it's much easier to stop than it is to kill in late season. This would be a great thing for an area that maybe you did pre-emergent and a little bit popped up. Maybe it didn't work quite as well. It got a little erosion in there, whatever, the crabgrass took place. Come in and spot treat with this because, again, if you stop it in its tracks, it's much easier to stop it early than to try to prevent it down the road. One more final thing about control. This is another crabgrass destroyer, same kind of post-emergent killer that is done by the Roundup company. And Roundup has got a lot of kind of some colorful marketing that came out, you know, about the glyphosate. A lot of their product has switched away from glyphosate. So don't misconstrue this product here because I'm really going to pump it up. Roundup for lawns is not glyphosate. It's not what you hear about all the lawsuits and everything. It has a totally different ingredient package. It's just using the Roundup label. I'm a big advocate of this. There's 4 active ingredients in here. I'm not going to go into the big long names of them, but the 4 active ingredients working in concert together are phenomenal at post-emergent killing. It knocks down almost everything you don't want in your turfgrass area with one shot, and it does not harm the lawn. It only attacks dicots. The lists inside of here of what it attacks is extremely long, and here's the best way to apply it. If you can get a hose to your lawn area, you go ahead and take this material, shake it up, you dump it into the dial sprayer here, dial the recommended amount, I think it's 3 ounces per gallon, dial that so it specifically mixes on its own, you hook it to the hose, you didn't need to measure, you didn't need to mix, you don't need to touch the salts and material, the liquid at all. I like the fan spray here, and you just pull the hose all the way out, walk backwards, cascading some of this material, and it will kill by contact. So what we covered today was stopping that weed seed from ever taking effect with pre-emergent. We talked about a little bit of products about post-emergent. Stay tuned. We're going to continue this lawn care, fertilizing, and weed killing prevention in the next episode.